David Jordan is the private advisor to CEOs, specialising in creating results through strategic innovation. Welcome to this week's segment.
One of the things that one of the problems that a lot of CEOs face with innovation is to try and overcome the resistance to change that's in the organization and often in the executive team. And despite that the CEO sees that change, it's very hard to then actually get that innovative change occurring through the organization. And one of the good examples that I've seen in a lot of organizations post the global financial crisis is this expectation that business will come back. So if you think before the global financial crisis, from about 2009 through to from 1990 through to 2007, there was a very good boom time for many organizations. And then the global financial crisis hit and we went into a trough, a recession. A lot of the executive team look, things go up, things come down, but they'll come back up again. So their view is, look, we just tread water at the moment, keep our costs down, and business will come back as it was before. But one of the things that CEOs could do to try and get the executive team to understand that that's not the case is to try and explain how a lot of boom crash cycles are actually related to new innovations. So whilst there's a crash that's come through, the next wave is not going to be on the current innovation, it's going to be on a new innovation. A very good example I would use for that is going back to the early 1900s when the Ford motor car was starting to become the new choice of transport for people. So the companies that were making saddles for horses suddenly started seeing a decline in their sales. Now, if the executive team was sitting in saying, look, we just got to wait out and sales for saddles will come back in the near future, they'll be waiting for a long time because people were not going to go back to horses as transport, they were going to go to cars. Those saddlery organizations that said, okay, new innovations come in, it's changed the market, what we need to do is now to focus on how we can meet that new innovation. And those organizations then actually went into doing upholstery for cars and created a whole new business. And a very good example of that is Holden in Australia, that became General Motors Holden, was actually a saddlery company who started from making saddles, realized the car innovation had come in, went to starting to do upholstery, went into repairing cars, and then eventually into making cars. So that's a very good example of a company that changed as innovation occurred, where many other companies didn't change, and all they did was to keep reducing prices and fighting over a diminishing market. So it's very important to try and get to your executive team to understand that this is not an up and down cycle, but actually a trough that's occurred because we are swinging to new innovations, whether it's digital innovations, digital disruptors, or some other organizations. We are actually facing a shift in innovations, and the new growth market is not going to be the growth market that we had in the past.
If you don't have a copy of David's book, The CEO Innovation Blueprint, you can get that now at freeceoblueprintbook.com.au. That's freeceoblueprintbook.com.au.